We are in Georgia for the start of the stranger home invasion murder trial of Michael Lanz. Lanz is accused of breaking into his neighbor's Cobb County home and shooting and killing Timothy and Amber Hicks, leaving their 2-year-old son alone. Now, the police found that child nearly 12 hours later. Fortunately, he was unharmed. Lanz was caught days later during another burglary in a neighboring county where he is accused of stabbing a police officer. Let's head back inside the courtroom now. The prosecutors have called a new witness. This is a police officer who responded to the crime scene to make a welfare check, and the court is seeing his body cam after responding to the scene. Just a reminder, this is a bench trial, so there's no jury.
Came up here? Yeah. And then they're both in there. No. They're both in there.
What? They okay?
No. They're not. Looks like they're both no. Well, I don't know the
Upstairs?
they're downstairs.
Can you guys see? Go back.
We got a hold for now. Sergeant's on the way.
What's the happened shot? What?
I don't know. I looked at them. They're both laying there. Sofa right there. You brought the TV. They're both gone. No.
Where was the baby?
He's running around. Yeah. I don't know what time it happened. There's a dog picking the floor. Yeah, we got just wait out here. Let's finish what we got going on. We'll come back and answer questions, okay? We can't let anybody know. We can't let anybody know.
I'm part of the security for years. I know go through them.
Yeah. We get all the way back there.
Y'all there and the devil over here.
I saw you got the kid out. Yeah, that's it.
All of it? We'll check it out. Just up there. He said he got the right side of the thing.
Roll it. I got this left door. You got that one?
You gotta get hold on me right now.
I'm gonna touch the phone behind you. Clear. Coming out.
Coming out.
We're checking this car home. Yep, clear.
For the record, I'm stopping States Exhibit 7 at 27. Now, officer, prior to your entry to the window in the back, were all the doors locked?
The back 2 doors were locked, and when we went out the front, that one was locked. I don't know about any other doors.
And really, for your entry into this house, was it that window?
I'm sorry?
For the entry for yourself, was it the window that had already been busted out?
Yes, it is.
Now, I want to talk about the little boy, Jacob.
Yes.
We kind of see you in the video kind of grab him in that media room, but then stick out a hand. Can you go over that that action?
I guess I just wanted to be less traumatizing to him and just kind of put out a hand like I would do, you know, with my kids when they were that small.
Let me ask you this way. You described Jacob as being wet.
Yes.
And on his clothing, could you see blood on him?
Yes. Pajamas were wet, and he had blood stains all over his on the front of his clothing.
Now, was the dampness to his clothing just on his bottoms, or was it on the tops as well?
It was pretty much everywhere.
Now, I want to show you some photos. Now showing you what's marked as State's Exhibits 8 and 9. Do you recognize those exhibits?
Yes, sir.
And how do you recognize them?
They're taken from my body camera footage.
The body camera footage we just watched?
Yes, sir.
At this time, the state moves to enter what's marked as State's Exhibit 8 and 9 into evidence.
Any objection? States 8 and 9 are admitted.
May I publish this?
Yes.
I'm now showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 8. Now, where is this screenshot taken?
That's going to be the living room, so the window is going to be kind of behind me to the left, and the front door is straight ahead. Bathroom is on the right, and Jacob's in like a little office area at the front of the house.
Now, into the right of Exhibit 8, kind of right here, is this Jacob standing right here?
It is.
Is this really one of the first times seeing Jacob once in the house?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 9. Who is this that we see here?
That's Jacob.
And what is Jacob holding?
A set of reading glasses or eyeglasses.
Now, it might be hard to see, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now, we kind of see some smudging on the front of the pajamas here. Is that what you remember to be blood?
Yes.
And at this point, were you worried about getting blood on your hands?
Yes.
And is that why you kind of waited to the last second to pick him up and take him to his family?
Combination of the blood and being wet.
Now, once you gave Jacob back to the family and you cleared the house, did you have any additional involvement really in the case?
Not at this point, no, sir. We stood by for crimes against persons detectives to arrive.
Still with us, Jack Rice. Jack, this is the horror that I think they wanted to keep from a jury. And by that, I mean you hear from the victim's father, and therefore, as a result of him going to the home, the sister calls 911. Law enforcement appropriately shows up, ready to do a welfare check. You see that body cam video that leads them directly to the crime scene and two murdered people for a motive we don't yet know.
When I watched this, Your Honor, there was an aspect that you didn't even mention, and that's that the trauma that happens in these cases happens to everybody. And you could have seen it in the face of that officer. But if you look back at what we were just watching, the prosecutor who's actually introducing this into evidence, he's the man in the blue suit. You watched his face as those body cams were being shown. You could see his face getting red. You could see him looking down. You could see his hands start to shudder. And when you watch that, you realize the cost of this goes so far beyond just this family. We saw them in the gallery. That was brutal in itself. But you realize that it just starts to swirl out, and it hits everybody that it touches. And it makes this so much more difficult to watch. And I've been in this space before, and I can tell you, at the end of these, have I wept? Yes, I have. have I wept at the beginning of cases before any of this started? Yes, I did. But you have to be able to control that. And then afterward, there is a price to be paid. But sometimes that's part of what we do.
Yeah, we run to the gunfire, literally any of us in this field. So watching this unfold, this happened 4 years ago, and we saw the Kleenex in the gallery just a few moments ago before this testimony started. And I just want you to mention this in the last 20 seconds. The trauma to the 2-year-old left alone for 12 hours, still clutching those glasses when he was found.
Yeah, I sat there and all I thought of was my own. Every time I see something like this, I think about the eyes of a child and say, that looks just like my daughter. That looks like just like my nephew. That looks just like my grandchild. And I can't help that. This is personal. This is visceral. And that really, really matters here.
Yeah, it really matters. Jack Rice, as always, thank you so much for your expert analysis. So appreciate you. Stay with us. We're going to get more of the stranger home invasion murder trial up next here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Judge Ashley Wilcott. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. We are in Georgia, where a man is standing trial accused of killing a couple in their dream home and then going on a rampage. The defendant is Matthew Lanz, and he is facing an array of charges that include murder and assault. Prosecutors say that he broke into the home of Justin and Amber Hicks, that he shot them to death, and then that he left their 2-year-old son in the home by himself. Police did find that child 12 hours later, and he was unharmed. Lanz then allegedly traveled 30 miles to another county, broke into several other homes before attacking a police officer. The defendant, Lanz, was eventually shot by another officer, bringing an end to that chaotic scene. This is a bench trial, meaning the judge will decide Lanz's fate and whether or not the state proves it beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's go back in now. An officer who conducted a welfare check on the couple is now facing cross-examination by the defense.
Good morning, Officer Brent.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Just a few questions that I need to ask you. Were you the first officer on the scene that appeared with your body cam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you walked around to the back of the door, you noticed that the window was broken.
Correct.
Okay. And the shade was down.
Yes.
Were all the other shades down on the windows?
I don't remember. I remember that one. That's about the only one I remember.
Okay. And we saw on the body cam where you took your baton and knocked some more of the glass out.
Yes, sir.
So that you could get through. Was there a good bit of glass still in the window?
I would say the majority of it was already broken. It was just some shards around the edges that I broke.
Would it have been difficult for somebody, say, your size, to get in that window with the glass configuration the way it was without breaking out some more of it?
I don't think it would be very difficult in my configuration with the uniform on. I think just regular clothes, you would be able to get in there.
Okay. And if you had a coat on or something like that, would it have been more difficult?
I don't know. It would be difficult in my uniform with the vest, and you're kind of top heavy. It's just kind of awkward.
Okay. Was there any of the glass that you saw that appeared to have any blood on it at all?
I didn't. I wasn't looking for that.
Didn't look for that.
No, sir.
And what you can tell, when you break a window, the glass usually goes into the room.
Yes.
So this would appear as though it was broken from the outside in rather than from the inside out.
Yes, sir.
Fair to say?
Yes.
You told us that the dog Bruno, when he first came to the window, was barking pretty loudly. We could hear the dog barking the entire time that you were there.
Yes, sir.
And that it appears as though the dog was upset because somebody was in the house that he didn't know.
Initially, yes, sir. As soon as I kind of spoke to the dog, he calmed down.
Okay. And I think you indicated that the front door was locked and the back door was locked, but you're not real sure about all the other doors in the house.
That's correct. I didn't check any other doors. That's just those are the three that I had experience with.
Okay. And we saw that the TV was on.
Yes.
You came in the room. I also noticed going up the stairs was the TV clicker. Do you remember seeing that?
I remember seeing something on the stairs. I don't remember what it was, but there was something on the stairs.
Okay. Do you remember how many stairs up that clicker would have been?
Probably halfway up.
Okay. Did you see any other TV clickers down around the couch area?
No, but I wasn't looking for stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't.
That would have been the detective that.
They did respond to the fine tooth comb of the scene.
All right. Where was the child's bedroom, if you remember?
If I'm not mistaken, it's up the stairs to the right.
Okay. And I didn't see any shell casings in your video. You were not looking for those either.
I didn't see any. My focus was on the kid when I first got in there. I didn't look for any shell casings.
Right. When you came to the back door where the window was broken, did you see any item that would have broken the window, like a rock or a stick or anything that may have been used to break that window out?
I don't recall anything, no, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any redirect?
No, Judge. Thank you.
May this witness be excused?
Yes, Judge.
And released from subpoena?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Excuse Officer Robin.
All right, the end of that witness's testimony, a perfect time to bring in trial attorney Bob Hilla. Bob, of course, thank you for being on with me. And again, you know, we're just reminding viewers this is a bench trial, so the judge will determine whether or not the prosecution has met their standard of proof. No jury. Tell me your thoughts with, you know, they thought they were going for a welfare check, and once they went, unfortunately, they discovered two murdered parents of a 2-year-old. Fortunately, that 2-year-old was found unharmed, although he'd been alone in the house for 12 hours. How do you think this testimony hit?
Well, right now, I think he was the first officer on the scene. So, you know, what the prosecution and the state's developing here is just, you know, what this officer found when he was on the scene. And the cross, you know, just went over the things that he didn't look for, that he didn't notice or whatever. So nothing really ties what this officer found yet to the defendant, but it's a necessary part to establish that a crime had been committed, how it was uncovered, and what was going on in the investigation.
Oh, what a great point. They have to connect all those dots, still incumbent on the prosecution.